I was very happy to hear the message of His Holiness the Pope. He basically summarized the rest of our podcast, I think. Um, the word
That's right.
justice appears again and again in the Holy Quran, in our dealings in general, but especially when it comes to war. The Holy Quran mentions in various verses again and again that when when someone attacks you, you're allowed to fight back only to the degree of their attack, right? So there should be some reciprocity. If a person attacks your naval base, you do not go and destroy the entire country. That's not reciprocity, right? And again, Islam mentioned again and again that justice has to be the key. In the verse of the Holy Quran you shared as well, the Holy Quran again mentions that justice is the formation of building bridges. What we have noticed time and again in the history of mankind is that when this aspect of justice is missing, it never solves every problem. What caused World War II? Treaty of Versailles after World War One. Was it a fair treaty? Of course not, right? And it gave rise to the to Hitler, to World War II, etc. So again, the same things are happening. That there is a war, and when the powerful comes to the table with the less powerful, they make unjust demands. The less powerful does not have any say in it, so they have to agree. And whenever they get a chance, the war resumes again. So for war or for peace to be established in the world and war to end, what we need is justice during war, before war, and after war.
So to put that in perspective, and maybe those watching, they're in their own echo chamber. They don't know what's really going on. So I have two quick videos. I can show at least one of them, but we can go over them, talking about the destruction that's happening currently. Because it may look like this is an actual war happening, but when there's atrocities that are happening beyond the combatants, beyond the people who are actually fighting you, and you're going after civilians, that's where we're crossing over to genocide and other things that are completely against the Geneva Convention and so many other international laws. So here's one example.
ظرفیت علمی ایران بی‌نهایت هست. ظرفیت علمی ایران به دانشجویانش، به استعداد خوش ایرانی، به ذوق و هوش ایرانی.
I commend him. He's like, this study of science is not going to stop. You can take down our institutions. It all depends on
Completely
the students.
side point,
That's
but I
powerful.
was so surprised when I read the credentials of the Iranian, hierarchy. They had PhDs in Kantian mathematics and all of these things. It was very
Yeah.
surprising.
Yeah. They were not
Right.
celebrities.
They were not
handpicked,
warmongers. They were people who had studied philosophy. They
They
were
were not
people who had
warmongers.
studied maths. They had studied economics, etc. But
That's right. That's right. That's right.
they were
And
portrayed to the American public as these barbaric group of people who don't understand anything. And when
exactly.
you read their
Exactly.
credentials, their resume, you find out they were more educated than the cream, any politician that is in America.
Yeah. So here's another example. Here's, of course, the President of the United States. But again, look at how just days ago, I think it was yesterday, where he's talking about bridges and power plants and so on and so forth. And there's other clips I'm sure people have seen on social media where Iranians, families and civilians actually went to these bridges to stand on them, saying, okay, well, we're going to protect our own bridges with our own hands, by standing here. Now, if some politician were to use the line, oh, they're shielding the bridges, therefore we're going to destroy them too, that's not legitimate. That's not justified.